Well, look, I want people to understand that the relationship that Gibraltar has enjoyed with Dominic Raab when he was Foreign Secretary and before that when he was Brexit Secretary, and indeed now that he's become Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Justice in the United Kingdom, has been a wholly positive one. Dominic Raab understood the importance that the people of Gibraltar put by the political and legal nature of sovereignty and defended that both as Brexit Secretary in the withdrawal process and indeed then when he became Foreign Secretary also in the withdrawal process. As we've been in the process of negotiating the future arrangements between the United Kingdom and the EU in relation to Gibraltar, Dominic has had a role as Deputy Prime Minister. You'll recall that the former Deputy Prime Minister signed the Concordat in relation to the withdrawal agreement. We were looking at the signature of a Concordat in the context of the new treaty, and Dominic would have been the person who would have done that as Deputy Prime Minister.
Were you at the meeting where he spoke to the senior diplomat about, in Mr Raab's terms, breaching and going beyond what the UK cabinet had agreed?
No, I wasn't at that meeting. That was what you might call a UK internal meeting. It wasn't a UK Gibraltar meeting. I've worked as closely with diplomats in the Foreign and Commonwealth Office and indeed the Department for Exiting the European Union, as it was for a period, and in other departments in Whitehall in this period since the referendum. And I can tell you that I have never seen any diplomat do anything which imperiled anything which the government of Gibraltar felt on behalf of the people of Gibraltar was a sacrosanct principle, or indeed to imperil any aspect of the negotiation. There might have been issues on their side as to how they were gearing up for a negotiation based on their mandate. There was a cabinet mandate, a UK cabinet mandate, in the same way as there is a Gibraltar cabinet mandate. Those two are almost identical, bar the references to which government it is that is responsible for these issues. But I have never seen any evidence of anything that I would have thought required taking up. Indeed, in this context, indeed, when I have taken the issue up, and indeed, as a result, people have been moved away from the Gibraltar desk because of issues that I have raised in the past.
Interesting. Can you tell us anything about the alleged breach that Dominic Robb refers to?
I can't because at this stage, first of all, I am working on the basis of hearsay myself, and I wouldn't want to rely on hearsay to give you anything other than rumour, gossip about something. Even if it is high-level informed gossip, I'm not going to go anywhere near that. I know that the work I have done with Dominic Raab has been good for Gibraltar, and he has always defended Gibraltar's interests and HMG's interests. And I know that the diplomats who've worked alongside him and alongside me in his period and beyond and before his period have always been a hugely important part of how we deliver the outcomes that we're looking for the people of Gibraltar and for the wider United Kingdom family, including Gibraltar. So I'm not going to get into any of those issues, but let me just tell you one thing, and let me tell you clear, and let me tell you straight so that everybody watching tonight knows. British sovereignty in respect of Gibraltar has never been in peril. Joseph Garcia and I are at the table. Michael Llamas is at the table. The sovereignty of Gibraltar is never going to be at risk.
Understandably, Chief Minister, you're being diplomatic in the way that you answer these questions. But for many viewers, their concern is that the Foreign and Commonwealth and Development Office may not be acting in unison with the UK Cabinet of Ministers. Should we be concerned?
You shouldn't be concerned. That is not happening. The officials that I'm working with in the Foreign Commonwealth Office, in the Home Office, in all of the departments that are engaged in the negotiation, are engaged entirely in keeping with the principles that I have explained to the people of Gibraltar, the government of Gibraltar is pursuing, together with the United Kingdom government, on the basis of the mandate that we have agreed. In fact, Dominic Raab launched that mandate in Gibraltar with me in March of 2020, I believe, or 2021, I believe. So there is absolutely no question of anybody working or operating outside of those lines or anything imperiling British sovereignty being done by a British diplomat or official. Quite the opposite. We live in an age where British diplomats and officials are an important part of how we deliver the positive outcomes that we're looking for the people of Gibraltar. There is none of this secret plan to try and give Gibraltar away or try and give a little bit of Gibraltar away that we might have feared in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and indeed which came to a head in 2003 on the basis of joint sovereignty. None of that. I can assure the people of Gibraltar that I have seen no evidence of that. When I have had a problem with a United Kingdom official or diplomat. I have expressed the views as to why that is the case and pursued the case in a way that has delivered the outcome that we wanted for the people of Gibraltar, so that the teams that we have are teams that do deliver and are committed to delivering the outcomes that are good for the people of Gibraltar. There's no need for any concern whatsoever. Otherwise, Joseph, Michael and I will be the first ones pulling the alarm bell.
And finally, Chief Minister, do you have any comment to make in respect of Dominic Raab's behaviour as you have experienced it?
So Dominic Raab has always been polite to a fault with me, and I'd like to think that that is what he experienced from me. I do acknowledge, of course, that politicians sometimes have to go at each other in a robust way. I think Dominic and I felt we were always on the same side, and we went robustly at the people sitting on the other side of the table to defend what we believed was right for the people of Gibraltar and the people of the United Kingdom. I have never seen him deal with officials in a way that can be described as anything other than professional and polite. But then again, I would not be in a situation where it is alleged that those things happen, because of course I am seen as the representative of a foreign government, and things would be different if I am present in the same room. And in my view, in the workplace, you are in particular bound to be humble and open about the way that you speak to those who are beneath you, and that's how you get the best out of them. And I say beneath in the most socialist of ways. I think we all work together. I think we are horizontal in our hierarchy insofar as we can be, but we have different levels of responsibility, some higher and lower, and you get more out of people by bringing them with you than you do by shouting or bullying. Is that the sort of thing you'd expect in the perfect world? Perhaps. In an imperfect world, we might sometimes get frustrated. We might sometimes feel that we have to speak louder than we might wish, etc., etc. Hey, I've been in Parliament for long enough to think, to know that we can't always be temperate and that tempers flare. But in my presence and with me, Joseph or Michael, there has never been any behaviour that we might consider inappropriate.